What's up, guys? Welcome back for another video. And this is take 4 of recording. We're making this thing happen 4 days in a row. It's great. I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy about it. So, just gonna keep the momentum going, and keep it rolling. And at this point, just start releasing because we have enough backlog to start releasing. So, which we can get low, but we now know in this video, there's been a good backlog. So, fast to kind of breathing room and put some systems in place for how we're going to do this. So that's it. Today's video is going to be about a different topic. Considering the last one, just change it up a bit. So essentially, it's only about myself, right? I've had a few people in my life in general, and friends, family, me asking about my job, about how I got into it, how I got into tech sales, how I got into sales, in remote sales, international sales, what are we going to call it, sales development. So essentially, I'm going to give you a little rundown about me, at least, how that worked, and I guess a little bit about the kind of increase of income and how I managed to achieve that as well. But we'll see. I may consider it in a separate video. We'll see how this goes. So essentially, I popped out of high school, 2017, and I was like, okay, cool. I want to not be in university. I was very adamant I didn't want to be in university. I was very clear I didn't want to be in university. Where do you think I found myself? Well, my mom had very different ideas. So I found myself in university and did not like it at all. So eventually blanked out of it and was like, nope, me. And eventually we decided to find a university that I might like, or find a study I might like. And I actually did, believe it or not. I found a university I liked with the degree I liked, the teachers or lecturers I liked who could actually teach. And then at that point, I think we ran into financial troubles with your wife, and I was not able to continue. So that was not that. But then I accepted that, and I said, well, I never wanted to really do this anyway, so why am I going to have this fight? I knew that I wanted to take a different route. A lot of others didn't go to university, so it wasn't really like family for the doctors, like this a big thing. I knew that I wanted to pursue different things, and I knew that I definitely wanted business. I knew that I had to first start at Pune. So I went to learn from the person I was calling the most of the time, which was Park Paro. And he said, well, probably if you want to start a business, start a sales. Career in sales is going to teach you as much as you need to know about how to run a business, and a career in sales is going to allow you to control your income. Cool. So I'm going for a sales job as an outbound B2C person doing Forex, selling Forex education. Horrible. That, as far as how the place was set up and everything, people were great, but the thing itself was not like anyone selling Forex education, just very scammy and not nice. But there's a job. I took it. Fully commission based. 30 minutes away from where I live, 40 minutes away from where I live. And had to drive to all my appointments. What that my thought. Didn't do that. Went to pushed it, learned it, and the product, all the stuff. And then had some funny things happen that kind of shifted my focus away. Some important passed away. But I'd realized something when that happened, that I was like, this was really, like, giving up that job was really easy. Let me say it like that. And then the next job, I promised myself something. I said, okay, I'm not going to quit. So I quit that job, and I didn't quit in a way I just gave up. So I said, okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to stay no matter what. I'm going to tough it out no matter how hard it gets. To the very end. It's either I feel it's really my time to go, or something happened. So I went to work at a supplement store. And we had this really great supplement store in South Africa that was like big at the time. Works there. Finds it out, treated that place like my baby, seen the store, respected the place, was everything I could, got like a consistent salary. It was like literally minimum wage to above minimum wage, but it was salary and it was consistent. And had commissions as well, depending on how well I did. So I tried to make my sales, and the first thing I did with that money was I used it to support my coach at the time, because I had a coach. So I was supporting I wasn't bodybuilding at that time, but I wanted to get in shape at that time. So I had coaches help me do that. And my mom was having trouble supporting it, so I said, okay, I got the job, was able to get supplements cheaper, which helped big time. Was able to pay my coach, pay for food, and get an Audible account. And guys, I started buying books. So I used to buy like 1 or 2 paperback books all the time during those days. And because stores often got quiet, I could read. So from there, while I was taking care of one of my stores, at the time, they moved us around a few times. I had a lady walk in, and she's like, "Hey, what are you listening to?" Because I was listening to a real estate investing seminar by BC. And then I was like, "Oh, this is a seminar on how to invest in real estate." And she's like, "That's awesome. I own a real estate agent." And I was like, "What? Cool. Should I come to this thing? And then you can take a look at everything." And I had like a whole little seminar. And at the end, they explained the job offer. I mean, it was just a job offer to be a real estate agent, but they really dressed it up well. It was cool. And I proceeded to go to that. And I was like, "This is great. I don't have a car or a laptop, which you needed at the time." You can do it. Then that company shut down and COVID hit. And then that's the magic. I got a laptop because I live with my parents. I got a car. I don't remember how I got the car. It was, oh yes, they got a call from my uncle. Got a car, got a laptop. I could go into real estate. So decided to do that after COVID had passed and jumped straight into real estate. And this was where I feel really and truly my sales career began. Because at this point, I am working a full proper sales job with the full sales cycle from beginning to end, and the work is all on me, and I can earn. And the earning potential is there, and it's clear, and it's visible. There's people around me earning money as well from doing this in a legit and good way. But it's difficult. It's hella difficult. And I made like no money the first 6 months. And then I cracked. And then after the first 6 months, I started making money, more and more money. And then slowly but surely, it started getting more consistent, the amount of money I was making. I would have like kind of a minimum, and then I was having really, really good months. Then I have some decent months. Some not so great months, but I started to kind of build up a minimum there. And, excuse me guys, it is 7 right now. We actually woke up in good time today, so I'm happy about that. Woke up on time, everything's rolling. Yeah. And then from there, I proceeded to keep pushing it, keep going at it. I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to quit. I gave it my all, and I was making good money, and I was learning how to sales side. I was learning how to cold call. I was learning how to do outbound prospecting. I was learning how to handle inbound prospects. I was learning how to navigate presentations correctly. I was learning how to deliver value propositions. I was learning how to do a deal and how to broker a deal, because when you're looking at housing rentals, so you're looking at landlord, tenant, that mixture of people, you're looking at a situation where it can get very difficult to navigate the needs of both parties. So you learn how to broker deals with people and learn how to handle people dynamics as well. So it was a really good experience as far as the first experience of the sales cycle. And I was doing the hard yard. Like I was doing the cold calling. I was walking around complexes trying to get units, talking to security guards, building relationships with estate agents, estate managers. Like it was a whole thing. So this really taught me the whole entirety of the sales cycle. And at this point, I got tired of handling customers. So then I decided, I had worked I helped somebody rent out a place. And I did it at a really, really good price. So basically I made them an offer. I said, "You had all these agents on your place. I will get you a rental for way more than you're asking." And I did. And I succeeded. And I worked harder than anybody else did on it. And that guy, ended up being a mentor of mine, and a really fantastic mentor. And then he eventually offered me a job. And that job gave me some stability. It gave me an introduction to the B2C space. And it was hella hard. But it gave me a lot of good knowledge. It was in the HR tech space, selling software and hardware for time and attendance and HR. And it was difficult, but it was great. It got me in the room with like managing directors, with HR directors of big and small companies. Like this is a really great experience when you're in your 20s and you have a bunch of imposter syndrome, and you're there pitching and presenting to the owner of a company, like a big company that has a building and everything. You're like, whoa, what am I doing here? So that was really cool, because I really got to understand that they're just people, and they're not scary, and they're just human beings. And at the end of the day, they have a need, and you're the person who's going to come in to fulfill that need. And that's your job is to come in and fulfill that need. So I found that it was a really glowing experience to learn under him, to learn about the sales skills he learned that he used over the years to go into presentations and get direct feedback as well. And this was my introduction to the B2B space. And my first time making some good form, consistent money with good commissions as well. And the team was quite decent as well, with technicians and good management teams as well. So time passed, and then I proceeded to leave that job. Now this is where things get interesting. As I was looking for jobs, I took a different approach. Because if I think about it, right, from the time I was working at the supplement store, I haven't looked for a job. The supplement store, I got through friends because I knew friends who worked in the supplement store, because I was always training and I was always dribbling and I was always around the store. And the guys were there and I became good mates with them. So it was pretty easy. I didn't really do much. I just talked to them. You guys know the guy I can send my CV to. And I talked to him. Yeah, sure. We'll help you out. Got the interview. Easy money. From there, moved to real estate. Lady walked in. Boom, boom. Meet her. Awesome lady. Probably actually, just side note, that the person on the real estate agency, she maybe like one of the best bosses I've ever had as a person. Like, just wonderful, lovely. And then from there, I get I do the house, I'll print it out, and he's my mentor, and then he just offers me a job. So I want you guys to understand from me, until this point, I actually haven't looked for a job. This is guy where they kind of got and connected. So now I'm in a spot where I need to look. Okay, cool. So we all know Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Fantastic book. And it's so funny because people who have listened to this book kept asking me the same damn question. And I was like, bro, did we listen to the same? Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich has a whole section on how to market professionals. A whole section. I don't think anyone listened. Genuinely, I don't think anyone. Because I listened to it. And I listened to it again. And I listened to it again. And I implemented it. And I took every other concept like desire, like persistence, like definite purpose, like clarity of what you want, to define the type of job I want first. I started looking to try and understand. And then I started to understand. I said, oh, you can do sales remotely. And I was like, well, I want to leave the country, I want to immigrate, which means I should probably start moving into remote work. Okay, cool. I want a job that's remote. Now that I realize it's an option for sale. Okay, cool. I want to get paid this amount of money. Is this possible? Let me look at my years of experience. Let me look at what people are offering for these years of experience. And I was like, it's possible. I can get paid the money I want. Okay, cool. So I'm going to define how much money I want. And here's the big thing for me. I prayed about this, right? I said, okay. I went and I was like, okay. I was like, Lord, this is what I'm looking at. Like, can I ask for this amount of money? Before you called it, like, are you happy with me asking for X amount of money? Prayed about it. And my answer was like, yes, this is the amount of money. I kind of asked more like, what is the amount of money? Like, hey, is the amount of money? I'm like, cool. Perfect. I'm going to run with this. That's the amount of money. Thank you for telling me. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to compromise. And I didn't compromise. And I remember a specific interview I had where a lady had said to me, she offered me the job. And I said, thank you, but it's what I was making before, and it's like a part-time role. So you're 4 hours a day, but you're still going to make the same amount of money as making at the previous company, which is not a bad deal. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm very definite that I need to make this amount of money. And she said, in South Africa, there's not many jobs. How you need to say no to a job? Like, why would you do that? I'm just curious to understand, like, how you view it, if you're willing to just say no to jobs. And I was like, I'm not worried. There are jobs. There are opportunities. It depends on how you want to see the world. You want to live in scarcity, or do you want to live in abundance? What I live in is jobs. What I live in, great about it. I said I have a job. I'm cool. I'm cruising. And at the time, I had so many interviews and opportunities. What did I have to be worried about? And it's a big rule of mine to never leave a job until you have a job. So I think when you have responsibilities, like if you're really like just tired of your job, and you know you can dedicate 8 hours, 10 hours every day to looking for a job once you leave with no responsibilities, and you live with your parents, do it. If you have responsibilities, don't leave a job until you have a job. Because there's somebody who relies on you, right? If you have a wife, family, kids, anything like that. Like I've been on the back end of that before when I was a young kid, and it was not a fun time. It was very difficult. So always have a plan. But yeah, I defined how much money I wanted. I defined the type of job I wanted. I defined, what kind of hours I wanted to work. And then I proceeded to go after it and pursue it fervently. And then I compiled my CV and my cover letter similar to the way Napoleon Hill describes how you should compile it in preparation for the marketing of personal services. And then proceeded to do that. And then back to the list, diet, persistence, push. And I'm like talking like I did applications every day out. So this is my schedule. Going to work. After I finish work, I go to gym. I finish gym, I come home and work on applications 2 to 3 hours a day, sleeping at 10, 11. Every single day. I did that every day for 2 months. And then the weekends were dedicated to the job as well. So I was very determined to find it. And I understood that, like any outbound sales, you don't start until you really hit like 100 prospects. Right? You have to really do the outbound. So it's a lot of work in the front end. So that's basically what I have to do. I have to put in a bunch of work in the front end, understand I have to open a ton of applications and apply a bunch, got a ton of interviews which I had to do. And eventually I landed up at a great company in the UK, which took me in. And that company at the point for me was the most money I ever had, and wonderful. And the people were wonderful. The owners were beautiful. The people were great company culture. I love the company up to today. I still have friends from that company today. Cannot say enough good things about it. So just a wonderful company. And I worked there. I won't like the name, but I worked for a company called Punch in the UK. Just fantastic. Only good things to say about that place. Just amazing. And yeah, I worked there for like almost a year to 2 years as sales development rep. I got it up to a senior sales development rep. Got an opportunity to work for a company in Australia as a business development manager, where I've been the whole sales cycle again and presenting to international people for lead generation. That was great as far as experience. Now I get to do the whole sales cycle with people across Australia and the UK. Very fast. So that gave me a lot of experience, and that was very good. Grew me a lot. My time at Punch probably grew me more than anything as a salesperson. And then my time at the lead generation agency grew me the next level as far as knowing what it's like to deal with this prospect. And then finally where I am now at a great company as well, that does HR tech, being first, fantastic company. They do record services, great company, good culture, good structure. They have their stuff together. I was looking for a company with good structures and good things in place. Still a bit of a startup, but like very well structured, well built, machine, not flimsy and messy. With proper procedures in place. I wanted this new and going forward. And yeah, that was kind of the journey I've had in the sales space. And I think when people ask about like how you got the next job or how your income start increased, I'll talk about that, I guess, in a different video. But I think the main thing was knowing how to see the opportunity, praying about it and believing and not compromising. Like I had a rule. My rule was if I prayed about a number and I received a number from God that that's what I want to get, I didn't falter. I would not falter. And the thing was at J2 is I lost the job as the end of my prep. So that meant that I went from November until December, end of October basically. So like I lost around near the end of October. So beginning of November until the end of December, I was jobless and I was planning a wedding. And I got a lot of offers in the first couple of weeks of looking, and I didn't compromise because I knew whatever job I take is the job I need to support my family with as well. Don't forget that. Like if I take a job now, like I need a job right now. Like one, it's disingenuous to take a job temporarily ways for a better one. Like I don't believe in doing that. So it's very important that like if I'm going to take it from an integrity standpoint, I'm going to stay. Like my plan is to stay. Unless something happens to make me leave that's really obvious and is really bad, I'm probably just going to stick it up because that's my rule. So I wanted to know that whatever I got is going to be what I stick with. And I have this thickness and it's been fantastic. And the thing is that like you can take a temporary job, but my perspective at the time, which was very tough for my parents, because the whole other video, but at the time I was staying with my parents. My wife was staying with her aunt. The thing is for them, it was really tough to understand because you get the offers, you're getting money on the table, and I even eventually got offers early on for what I was getting before. But the thing is, you decide like, is that that's the limitation of your commitment, right? Like, and your faith. For me, it was a matter of if I take an easier job with this money, I then rob God the opportunity of showing me what he can show me, and I rob him the opportunity of seeing my faith in the face of good opportunities. Because it's easy to have faith when you're changing jobs. It's much harder when you have nothing and you're making no money to believe that you can make more than you were making before because that's what you've been told. And that's what you prayed about. So I stuck to my gun and it was the right decision. So yeah, guys, some of you who sometimes, I guess I've had people ask me before what I do for work, how I got into it, and how I managed to grow my income over the years at my age without having a degree. That's how I built a high income skill. I got really good at it. I listened and read a ton of books about sales, and I learned how to deliver, monetize, and present that skill to people who wanted that skill and make sure I knew how to negotiate for that skill. Yeah, that is it. That is my career in sales, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get some insight from it. And if you guys found it interesting, want to dive a bit deeper into my career in sales, how to get a job in sales, and what it was like, and the intricacies of how to learn sales, you can jump to that too if you guys say that you want to. And look forward to chatting to you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, and see you on the next.